we have covered two types of intelligence: intellectual intelligence and emotional intelligence. And the third one is spiritual intelligence. Spiritual intelligence is a bit different. When you have spiritual intelligence, the other two are overshadowed. You follow the voice, you follow the command of the Lord. The ability to follow the command of the Lord is a spiritual intelligence. I mean, obviously, a Sufi has his own perspective, but he must follow the voice of the Lord and reject his own perspective. And the ability to reject his own perspective about life and adopt the divine directive, that is spiritual intelligence. You need to be able to differentiate what I want and what God wants. So you leave your desires behind, your own perception behind, and you adopt God's commandment, God's advice, and you convince others also. That in total is spiritual intelligence. But then again, how will you come to believe that your inner voice is the voice of God? So spiritual intelligence comes after culmination of Sufism. When you reach your destiny, when you arrive at the station of culmination in spirituality, then you follow the voice of God. Somebody is disgracing you, humiliating you. You want to reply, you want to retaliate, but you're quiet. Why? Because you're listening to the voice of God. People will think he's crazy, foolhardy, idiot. And you're not supposed to tell them that I'm not idiot. You don't want to tell them I am following the voice of God. So every single Sufi who acquired spiritual intelligence, people regarded him as an idiot. So now you have three different types of intelligence: intellectual intelligence and emotional intelligence. You practice this as a Sufi. But there are times when you don't follow your intelligence, emotional or intellectual. When the directive comes from God, you only follow the divine directive, without intellectuality, without emotionalism. Flat. Remember, when Abraham was commanded by God to abandon Ismail and his mother, that was rational? Emotional intelligence? Did he depict his emotions? No. God said, abandon them. Okay. It is irrational. Just imagine, you have a newborn baby, maybe 2-3 months old, and your father tells you to go and abandon your wife and your kid and never see them again. Is it rational? It's not rational. I mean, morally, it's a humongous crime to abandon your wife and your 2-month-old baby. It's pretty inhumane. But Abraham was made to do it because he was following the voice of God. That is supra-rational. Why we call it supra-rational? Because there is a wisdom behind it. Seemingly, this act appears to be an act of tyranny, inhumane act, abandoning your wife and your child in a place where there is no water, there is no shelter. Seemingly, it appears to be inhumane. But there is a vast hidden wisdom behind it. And what is it? That he wants to separate Ismail from the progeny of Ishaq, from the progeny of Jacob and David. He wants them to be alone. And then from the line of Ismail, he will send the last prophet, so that people do not attribute his prophethood to the prophethood of Bani Israel. So there is a vast wisdom behind it. So in the end, it turned out to be good. So it's not irrational, it's supra-rational. So when spiritual intelligence arrives, intellectual intelligence, emotional intelligence has to go down. Nothing works. So we will not reveal what spiritual intelligence is until the last day of Western Sufi Course. Because you will not understand spiritual intelligence until everything about Sufism has been discussed. Only then it will make sense. Not right now.
TV, bringing light, love, and peace in your life.